very good morning to you. How's everything?
Great.
Yeah, it is. It's great,
Yeah,
right? It's
fall weather. It's awesome.
It is. Jim was at the press conference yesterday. He's got all his information. He's ready to go. He's disseminating it to everyone. Now, yeah, does your microphone work there, Jim? There we go.
It says on.
There
we go.
It said on when you couldn't hear me.
That was my fault,
Yeah,
Jim.
thank you,
I'll
man.
take the L on that.
Okay. Now, you texted me yesterday, and you said, I have an interesting thought about a succession plan for the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It seems like we're in the midst of it. It's high time for people to have theories and succession plans. So what do you got?
All right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we want to role play or you just want to hear?
Either one. What's more fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's role play.
Okay. Who's who?
Right.
Who's
Yeah.
who? Jim is who?
Jim is Art.
Because he's old.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got the lead in the play, Jim.
Okay.
Wow.
He's about as old as Art. He's about
You want
the
to
same
be,
age.
Chris, what you want to be?
You tell me.
You will be, let's go, Omar Khan, and you're
Okay.
head coach.
All right.
Oh.
I got my calculator.
I'm
Okay.
Mike T. I'm
All right.
Coach T. Okay.
So I'm Kevin Colbert. Here's what we're going to do. All right, fellas. Give me some feedback on this. My thought for now and going forward for this organization, first thing we need to do is give Ben the keys to the offense.
Who are you again?
I'm Kevin Colbert.
You're Kevin Colbert. I'm Mike Tomlin.
I'm Omar.
He's Omar. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Give Ben the keys to the castle. Have him run the offense totally. Think about it. When we go up tempo, that's when we've had the most success. Now, when we talk about transitioning from Ben in the most respectful way, check. Ben, this is your swan song.
Right.
And we're giving you the keys to the offense. And we're respectfully going to move on from you after that. Check. Matt Canada, offensive coordinator. What are we going to do with him? Guess what? He gets his second year in the NFL ecosystem to learn from the eyes of an
Kevin,
18
let me interrupt you for one moment.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody better to put into the football game right now than Ben. Even though my two backups seemingly know the system, they haven't showed me they're better than a hobbled 39-year-old guy.
More reason you're on my side. So.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I've got Coach on it.
You got Coach on it.
Yeah. So, Canada, second year in the NFL, 1 year under Finkner. This year, he can see and learn from an 18-year quarterback that's been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2, and start getting an identity of, okay, what works, what doesn't, what does he see from his eyes? Check on helping mature the offensive coordinator. Best case scenario, next thing we know, we're competitive. The Steelers are competitive. And at the end of the year, Ben just increased his trade value. Then he can start thinking, I can be Brady and go somewhere else and win. And you take that draft capital you get from trading from him, and if we don't see a quarterback in this draft, if we have a quarterback, we're in a position to go up and get him without mortgaging the future. If not, we get a cornerstone player, preferably offensive line, but any position besides running back, wide receiver, and safety, to be a cornerstone for the next chapter in this storied franchise. Worst case scenario, we're garbage. Then guess what? Where do you get your top 10 quarterbacks? In the top 10, we're there. Again, if not, we will be in position to get another cornerstone player. Then in 2022, you roll out Haskins and Rudolph. If they're no good, then that's when you get your quarterback. So you're setting yourself up to check all those question marks and be in position for a succession ban, be it in the 22 draft or the 2023 draft.
If I'm Omar Khan, all I'm concerned about is that I have the cap space to rebuild this offensive line in the offseason.
Thank you. Art?
All right, Art.
If this doesn't work, you're all fired.
Okay. Well,
And then I'm bringing in Doug Whaley to take the chance.
No, I just thought about it. I mean, that's how you do it, because you can't live.
who in their right mind is going to want to trade for Ben Roethlisberger, though?
If he's competitive, I'm just saying. They can say, oh, well, look, once he had the offense, it was all him.
Mm-hmm.
He got him out of that funk, and they started being productive. He may have 1 or 2 more years left.
Well, let me role play Matt Canada for a second.
Okay.
Because we didn't have anybody play Matt. We should have had producer Matt play Matt Canada. That
yeah.
would have been appropriate. But if I'm Matt Canada and the GM and the head coach and the owner, everybody seems on board with this idea, hey, let's just hand the keys to Ben, I'm going to look around the room and say, guys, why'd you hire me? Why am I here?
You're the future. Why not get seasoning? You have why wouldn't you want to know what a guy? How long have you been offensive coordinator?
This is it. This is the first year.
Thank you. This guy's been in 18 years and been in 3 Super Bowls, has been in different systems. Why not surround yourself with some wise counsel and see it from the eyes of a guy that's going to be on the field? That's only going to make you a better offensive coordinator.
I hear what you're saying, Kevin, but I don't think this guy can do it. I don't think he's got it. He can't run my system. I don't know if he can run his own system anymore.
All right, enough.
Matt, you're going to find your rear end on this.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
But
and
under
then
this plan, under this plan, we will bring you
we're
back next season.
We're protecting you. We're giving
We're
you
not
some
getting rid of
longevity.
you, Matt. We're trying to give
We're
you a
trying to
chance
help you.
here.
All right,
Absolutely.
enough with the role play. Let's get to real life for a second. And by the way, you can text us, Edgar Snyder and Associates fan text line 412-928-9370. Let's say that it continues like this, and they're not winning football games, and Ben Roethlisberger isn't necessarily the sole reason why they're losing it, but he's never in the cards or never in the talk of why they could potentially win football games. How long can this continue where you just have this stagnation and you don't try something else? Because I think that's how a lot of the city feels right now, in that it's just floating along. Everybody knows the offensive line's terrible. Okay, but Ben still doesn't find a way to make a play here and there. How long can this float along? To the bye week, to week 10, to week 12, or do you just ride it out all year?
You'd have to do bye week, in my opinion, because after a while, especially when you, and I hate to say it, especially when you hear comments from a Tyler Boyd that's from Pittsburgh to say that bye week, you got to have a come to Jesus moment and say, we got to have some pride. And one of the things that we have to do is change something up. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing, expecting a different result. Let's change. What do we have to lose? That's the way I look at it. We know the outcome if we keep doing it this way. Let's change something up, be it system, personnel, whatever. We have to do something, or we're going to lose not only respect of our fan base, but of the National Football League.
And of their own players, I think.
Yes. And the locker room.
And that's the part that I look at as, as we talk, you brought up Tyler Boyd's comments and how he said they looked like they gave up. Mike Tomlin saying we fired all our bullets. We were essentially out of ammunition because we knew we were done. It feels to me, and I'm doing a lot of translation here, trying to read between the lines, that a lot of guys out on that field towards the end of that game on Sunday afternoon looked around at what they had, especially under center, and said, we can't win this game. And if you continue to roll the same guy out there, they're going to continue to say, we can't win. He can't do it anymore. What are we banging our heads against the wall for?
That belief. Absolutely. That belief in that locker room. And do you risk, and you do risk, losing that locker room? And that's one of the keys to Mike Tomlin's success, having that locker room. So it's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a come to Jesus moment. Is it now? I don't say right now.
And you don't need to defrock the guy. You don't need to rip the jersey off of his pads and make him stand on the sideline with a clipboard. You put him on IR and call it a day.
Well, there's plenty of things you can do. But whatever it is, let's try something different.
I just don't see any way he can improve his value. Like, I think we know what Ben Roethlisberger is, Doug. And I think this is where you and I can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think we can see him improve his value. He looks shot to me. How's the guy get better? How does a team answer me this. Say it's Belichick, right? Who loves broken toys and he loves fixing them. That's his thing, right? I don't think I have that wrong. That's he loves to doing that. Whether it's Randy Moss, whomever it is. I don't think in his brain anywhere he goes, there's my guy that I'm going to bring in here that works. Whether you're him, whether you're in Jacksonville, whether you're in Houston, wherever you are, you say, yeah, Ben Roethlisberger still has it. I can't creep into my mind at all, Doug.
I understand, and that's a definite concern. But for me, I'll say this. Is Ben ever going to be the Ben we know from before? No. He is shot. You can look, and watching that game, I can see his mind saying, let's do this, but his body's like 2 steps behind. He's not there. But here's where I say he can be successful. Think about this stat line. 20 for 32, 195 yards, 3 TDs. But 5 for 9 on third downs, 8 for 11 in the fourth quarter with 2 TDs. Making timely, experienced throws that win you the game. He's not going to throw for 350 no more. That's not good. That's not going to happen unless we're behind. But if he can do what Russell Wilson used to do early in his career, Russell would throw for less than 200 a game, but he made those throws when they needed to win games. I think he could still do that and impress other people like a Belichick and say, if we got the defense and a running game, this is all we need this dude to do is make those timely throws for us to win the game. And that's where I say if he's running the show, that's when the offense looked the best. That's where he can increase his value.
Save that for Alex Smith, though. You know what I mean? Like, is that Ben's game?
It looks like he's missing guys
to manage.
I mean, he's not.
I don't know.
That's where he is now.
Argument.
That's where he is now.
You tell him that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to say. Here's the keys to the car. Know what you do, and he knows what he does best. Again, when they went up tempo, did they not move the ball? He knows. So here, Ben, here it is. And then guess what? At the end of the year, you can't say we didn't do everything for you and didn't send you out the way you needed to go out and give you the most respect. That's just me.
I just wonder if doing and look, the theory is an interesting one. I just wonder if it doesn't end up right back where we were end of last November, beginning of December, where teams look at it and say, "Oh, Ben's the one running it. Okay, well, we know what to do here. The ball's not going anywhere inside the hashes more than 10 yards downfield. We'll picket fence the line, just like they've been seeing the first 3 weeks, and we'll force him into holding onto the ball longer, or we'll force him into trying to find something with 8 guys in coverage. Either way, we're going to force him into making throws he's uncomfortable making."
But again, it hits all your check marks. You did it in a respectful way. You moved on from Ben. He can't come back and say, "Oh, they did me wrong." He may come up with another injury, and then we can put him on IR. So it doesn't back you in a corner is what I'm saying. It gives you options, and it
buys you a little bit of time, I guess.
And it gives you checks, and it puts you in position for your next move, either to get a cornerstone player high in the draft with draft capital without mortgage in the future, or be in a position to get one of the top quarterbacks this year, which seems like right now there's no one really separating themselves. Now, it's still early.